even says, in the phase within just 2 to 3 years before actual retirement, is keeping my super invested in 100% cash really being too cautious? Yeah, probably. It is. The problem with holding it in cash is that you're basically not even maintaining the value of the money. Because say, for example, you've got, and this is the reality of it, that everyone's got to deal with the same issue, really, that they don't want to lose money, but they don't want to go backwards either. Because if you've got $100,000 in your super fund, yeah, and it's all in cash, and it's generating 2.5%, but inflation is 3.5%, then just by sitting it in the cash option, it's going backwards each year. If you've also got to pay a third of that in tax because you're on the 30, you're earning more than $20,000 a year, or $37,000 a year really, it's a third in tax, then you're actually going further backwards again. So holding it in cash for the long term is not going to be a great outcome unless you're planning to use all that money in the next couple of years. So what you do there is, like I mentioned before on the link to the video, a good thing is to work out how much cash you're going to need for the next 3 to 5 years. If you want to be conservative and you're saying, well, of my $100,000, I need $5,000 a year for the next, annually. So therefore, you might say, well, of that $100,000, I'm going to hold 5 years of pension payments, for example, or $25,000 in cash. And then I'm going to invest the rest of it, the other $75,000, in the market. So it might be a balanced option, or it might be something else. And what you can do then is you just draw your pension from the cash option, and then you let this go up and down in value, with the idea that over time it's going to go further up in value than your cash option will. And that's what history tells us, that's what happens. Obviously there are scenarios like the GFC, but if you held shares throughout the GFC, then you'd be still in a better position than if you had sold out of them at some point in time and then got in at a later point in time. So, yeah, I think you are being too cautious, Ian. Also need to factor in your own particular circumstances, but, generally, for someone approaching retirement, it is a bit too cautious. My wife is 5 years older than I am and is approaching 65. Do my earnings as a pastor affect whether she qualifies for the age pension? Yes, they do. How much it will affect them depends on how much she's earning and what assets you have. Probably a good thing to do is to go see a financial information services officer at Centrelink to see how it might actually pan out for you.